Hello and welcome to this week's episode of your Power Packed Podlets. My name is Rachel and I'm your host for these mini magical journeys together. And today's episode is being recorded in the middle of our live event, Awaken Your Inner CEO. And there's something magical happens. Well, many magical things happen when hosting these events. There's something magical happens when hosting these events is I find that my creativity, ideas expand exponentially when hosting these sorts of events. For those of you who've maybe been considering doing something like these events to help reach more people, serve more people, grow your audience, grow your income, and you're wondering if it's something useful, let me just share a few insights with you. And then we're going to go into, it's a really juicy session today, as today I'm going to be riffing on the thoughts that are coming through for me, having just made 17,000 euros cash in 13 days and having closed 22,000 euros in sales. And only a portion of that is the cash that's come in. So another portion of that 22,000 in sales is reoccurring income for the next year. And I'm going to be riffing on some thoughts that have come through from this. And the reason is, it wasn't long ago that I never thought I could be that person. And by not long ago, I mean less than a year. Yeah. Who I was 9 months ago would not have believed that this would be my normal now. Just as who I was 18 months ago would have not thought that what 9 months ago could have been possible. So I'm going to be sharing it from that perspective, because I'm not come from a background of entrepreneurs or really successful people. And so it's really exciting to be able to share with you that this sort of success, and I'm going to be talking numbers, not because for some of you, money won't be a motivational factor. And I'm going to be talking numbers because, and it'll make more sense very soon, having these sorts of conversations in my past is what has made what I'm experiencing now in the present possible for me. Now, before I go into that, the free event. So there is a mindset piece that will really change the game for you when it comes to the free things you put out there. When I'm doing something for free, there are two main focuses. I know that making more money because I'm giving this for free is inevitable. I know that sales will come through, whether it's now or in the future or both. I know that it's inevitable with doing what I'm doing because of the way that I'm doing it. The way that I'm hosting these free events means that making more money in the present and the future, they're inevitable outcomes. And it's because of this. I'm focusing on two things. How can I bring insane value to people? How can I give people the missing pieces of the puzzle that they need to get the result that they want? How can I present it to them in a way that gives them something that nobody else has given them before? And one of the reasons that this means that then it's inevitable that my business grows is because inevitably of the people who are coming to the free stuff, there is a percentage that want to be in the paid spaces. There are a percentage of you who you prefer the paid to the free. You want to pay for the things because you know that there's a level of nuance, there is a feeling, there's an identity piece of choosing to be in the room where everybody else around you has invested at that level and therefore is themselves invested at that level and committed at that level. You're maybe one of those people, that by going to something free, there are lots of people who have the commitment level of free. And you choose to be in the spaces where everybody around you has the commitment level that you want normalized by the people around you. And the part of that is the emotional investment that comes when you're putting money down for something. Yeah, it's the value that we choose that something has for us and therefore the value we get from it. So this is why with free stuff, there is always an inevitable percentage of people that sign up for the paid, because there are the ones that want to grow and know that a huge part of growth and making more income is getting comfortable with investing. And then secondly is this. I know that when I'm hosting free events, I go in with the intention of learning and growing, learning from every single one of you that listens to my podlets, that comes to my free events, that consumes my content on Instagram, to learn from you in some way, including if it's online hate. That's something we'll talk about tomorrow. There is such growth in receiving online hate. There is such growth. It's when it comes, it's not easy. It can be a gift. We won't talk about that in today's podlet though. So because I approach all of the things in my business, especially these events, because there's real momentum to it, there's excitement, there's the new people coming in. I approach it with the assumption that I'm going to learn so much as I do this. I'm going to grow so much as I do this, that my business and my confidence and my conviction is going to be birthed at a whole new level on the other side. And because of that, what happens? Exactly that. There's this constant flood of ideas coming through, seeing potential and possibility, meeting those of you coming to the event and understanding how I can be of service to you at a greater level. Every single story you share, I'm thinking, okay, how can I be of a greater service? What is this person? What are the missing pieces for them? And how can I present them in a way that helps them get to their desired outcome and fast? And because I've approached every single free event like that, there are people that have come to past events who will sign up after this one, and so on and so on and so on. And there'll be people, those of you who've just met me, who will sign up at the end of this event, because it will finally make sense, the thing that you've been missing. You're like, oh, I didn't know that I was looking for this, and here it is. So, on that note, thoughts, a riff. I'm going to give you a riff on the thoughts as having just made 17,000 euros in cash. So first off, I couldn't even get my head around 17,000 cash in 2 weeks, about 9 months ago. And the funny thing now is this is who I am now. And this is a piece that will make sense for those of you in the school. This is who I am now. So the reason I choose to share numbers is the following. All of my life, I'd been in environments where much less was normalized. I had an upbringing. It wasn't taught to me. I adopted these assumptions that somebody like me, with my type of upbringing, my way of thinking and being, couldn't make more than an average wage. There was something, I wasn't consciously aware of it. It was really deep in my unconscious and even programmed into my nervous system that a person like me could not make above 3,000 euros a month, for example. And so even though I had this thriving business, where I had lots and lots of clients, a waiting list. If a client cancelled within 60 minutes, I would have somebody else fill the slot. And I was turning people away because I didn't have space in my agenda to be bringing more people in. And so I was getting to a point in my business where I was able to select my clients, which also abundance, amazing, beautiful, and the highest cash months that I could make was 3,000 euros a month, living on the coast of Spain. Yeah. There was a glass ceiling. I couldn't make more because there wasn't more of me to give with the business model I had, but also the identity I had and the belief systems I had around what a person like me could do and make. And so by being in environments where I met other women like myself who were making way more and would talk about it. So my coach would talk about what she was making. I work with 2 coaches and I'm in both of their spaces. And I'm consistently exposing myself to how they think, to how they move, to what they do in their businesses, to how they do it, asking questions, why this, why that. And they're the type of woman, just like myself, who is constantly learning and growing and applying and excited about doing the things. A little bit of a geek when it comes to learning. And being in these spaces where they've spoken about their numbers and where it's felt like such a stretch, so far away, and yet hearing it and listening to it enough until I realized that the only distance between me and that number is my resistance to that number itself. To the things that I hold on within me, the beliefs, the assumptions, the nervous system programs that tell me that a person like me can't make that sort of money. That doing the sort of things that I do, it's not possible to make that sort of money. The people that make that sort of money are bad, they're evil people. Whatever beliefs that we hold on to that resist our capacity to enjoy more. And it doesn't have to be money. It can be more happiness. Because if what you are desiring in your life is more happiness and confidence, and that's not what you're currently experiencing, it's because something deep within you, in your unconscious mind or your nervous system programming, is telling you that somebody like you can't be more confident because. That somebody like you, or someone with your background, somebody with the trauma you went through in your childhood, somebody with fill in the gap, can't have the happiness and confidence that you want in your future and in your present. So whatever it is you're desiring more of, if you're not currently experiencing it, is the resistance in you to believing it's possible. And so this is why I'm now sharing numbers, because I know it's important. Because if you're building a business, my assumption is financial freedom's important to you. Whether or not you're motivated by money, financial freedom, it allows you what? What does financial freedom give you? For me, it gives me time off on holiday. I get to see my parents. I get to go to Mexico and see my Mexican friends. I get to go travel with my partner. I get to go to South Africa. I get to take my mornings off. I get to look after my body. At 42, I don't have to be working insane hours and getting my nervous system all over the place, having to hold space hour after hour after hour after hour for person after person after person. I can actually look after my own health. That's what financial abundance gives me. So I'm assuming if you're a business owner, then financial abundance is a priority for you. And if that's the case, then whatever number currently feels like a stretch, for you to get to that place, and I really hope that this lands for you powerfully, for you to get to the place where whatever that number is, that stretchy number that currently feels like a person like you couldn't make it, or a person who does stuff like you couldn't make it, or you couldn't do it through your own business, only through working for somebody else, for you to get to that number and normalize it, and for it to feel super safe and totally logical, and for you to repeat it again and again and again and again, you have to be in conversation on a consistent basis. When you are learning what the multi-layered reality of that abundance truly is. Because it isn't just about money. More money is not just about money. It's about your relationship with more. How you feel about more, how you think about more. Being happy with what is, yes, fully in the abundance and gratitude of what is, whilst from that place of abundance, also choosing more. Why? Because you can, because you are life with the desire of expansion of itself that is constantly expanding into more, and it is up to you to choose what that more is. More fear or more freedom? More scarcity or more abundance? And so, and this is why I've set up the school the way that it's done. because these podlets, the event, for example, it's an immersion. You're immersing yourself in the concepts and the ideas so as to unlock a lot in a really short period of time. To have aha moment after aha moment of thinking, I didn't think to think that. I didn't think to look at that. I didn't even know that this was a thing. Boom, 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 one thing after another. But then what happens in between? Every single time you face your fear, you face your lack, you face your limitation, and the voice in your head and a feeling in your nervous system tells you it is not safe to do something you've never done. It's not safe to assume money's coming in. It's not safe to assume your success. It's not safe to invest in this. It's not safe to sell to people. Whatever it may be, every single time, because this will happen as you are growing into more, as you are moving towards something you have never moved towards before, which is the territory of the unknown. As you are moving into unknown territory, what will happen on your path to that desired result that you want, what is going to happen, everything within you that tells you that you can't is going to come to the surface. Everything within your identity, your personality, your paradigms, your belief systems, your nervous system that tells you that what you want is not for you, all of that's going to come to the surface. And you will find that again and again and again, you are presented with a choice to stay where is safe, or a choice to grow. And this isn't going to happen like once a month or once every 6 months. This is going to happen to you every single day. Every single choice you make, every single choice you make in how you show up in a conversation with a client, in a sale, in marketing, in putting your business out there, in choosing colors for your brand, in launching a new website, in having a photo session done, everything you do in your business, in how you show up in a session with a client. Everything is, you're going to be presented constantly, unconsciously, and this is the thing. You will be presented unconsciously with the choice to stay where you are or to grow, to choose fear or to choose possibility. And if you are not in an environment that normalizes possibility for you, that shows you that everything you've ever dreamed of is possible and more, and is consistently presenting you with the new thoughts, the new choices, the new actions, the new potentials constantly. Not a big thing, those little small things on a daily basis that you can shift and do just a little bit differently. Slightly different perspective, different way of looking at it, going for the perspective of abundance over fear, abundance over lack, again and again and again. This is what compounds to 6 and 12 months' time, you having results you currently cannot comprehend. Because if your current environment, if you are not surrounded by, think of like a fish in water. A fish doesn't realize it's in water because it's its natural environment. So the environments you're currently in, that water that surrounds you, you're not aware of it because you're in it all of the time. And unless you get into the water that surrounds you with the environment that normalizes more, then you will stay where you are forever and ever. And I know that it can feel scary to step into an environment that stretches you, that potentially triggers you, that requires that you face the beliefs within you that believe that the problem is external to you, that believes that bad is external to you, that believes that darkness is external to you, that causes you to want to project your shadow outside of you rather than acknowledge it's inside of you. Because this is where the real work is. When it comes to moving towards more of what you desire, while staying in tune with you and authentic to yourself, and doing it from the desire to live a life of fulfillment and purpose and service to others, It requires that we acknowledge that we are light and dark. To meet your darkness and meet your shadows. And when you meet your shadows, to accept that your shadows aren't in fact shadows. The shadows within you are actually the light desiring to express itself, believing that darkness is the only way. Let me give you an example, completely unrelated to business. As somebody who used to have an eating disorder, the voice of anorexia in me, she didn't want to hurt me. She didn't want me to be unhappy. She didn't want me to be suffering. What she believed was that for me to be loved, for me to be accepted, for me to be enough, for me to be safe, I had to control the food that went in my mouth. And so she believed, no, you must control, otherwise you're not safe. You must control your food intake, otherwise you will be rejected. You must control your food intake, otherwise something really bad is going to happen. So we are avoiding the bad thing. We're afraid of the bad thing. The bad thing is scary. And so what was required was me to acknowledge what she desired and to acknowledge how to move towards that desire, not from a place of control and fear, from a place of growth and love and expansion. And it's exactly the same in your business. And this is exactly what we do in the school. Yes, we do strategy. Yes, you learn about how to create a business that sets you free. You learn all of the things that you probably take like 50 courses to learn. Yes, you do learn all of that. But way more than strategy is the profound healing journey of learning what it is to really believe in yourself and understand that you are not the victim of anything, you are the creator of it all. And so if you are creating everything external to you, how do you create what you want versus what you don't want? And so it may seem strange that I began the conversation around making 17,000 cash in 13 days, and we end up talking about healing and shadows. But this is the path for those of us who wish to not only be successful, we understand that prosperity is more important than success. Because prosperity is not just about you. Prosperity, yes, is being healthy, happy, having healthy relationships, enjoying the human experience, but is also knowing that your life means something beyond just you. And so if you are living your life, building your business, from that desire to give beyond you, to know that there is a ripple effect from your actions. Let me leave you with this question. If what you desire is to have a positive ripple effect on the world, what is the frequency within you that is creating that ripple effect? Is it a deep trust in yourself and in everybody else and in the good in others? Because the more that we can trust the good in ourselves and our capacity to face our darkness, and the more we can trust those around us. So trust your clients and their capacity to step up. Hold the frequency that they wish to come up to and trust that they can. And if they don't, it's okay. But the more you trust they will, the more you trust that people have the money, that they want to invest, they want to do the things, the more you will realize that they do, and that they will come to you. So I'll come back to that question. What is the frequency within you that's creating that ripple effect that goes out to the world around you? And what frequency do you wish it to have? How much do you wish to be responsible? What within you creates what's external. To step up, to really own that. so that the difference you make in the world isn't just about the business you run, it's about who you are, what you have to say and how you have to say it. So on that note, ending the riff, on that note, tomorrow, Tuesday, is day 3 of the live event. Tomorrow I will be sharing the options of continuing with me. So at the end of the session, for those of you who are interested, at the end of the session, I'll be talking about the membership options to join us in the school. If you don't want to wait, you can reach out to me, ask for the brochure, ask for the links, because there are currently 2 ways to work with me. You can sign up in the pre-launch phase for our 2026 certification program. And if you do that, you will get to join us immediately in levels 1 and 2 in the school. So let me go through it with you. The certification is €15,000 if you pay in full. And yes, we do have monthly payment plans. Right now in the pre-launch phase, you can join us at €7,500. Yeah, so it's 50%. The reason we're doing this is for those of you who, as soon as you know something is for you, you make that move. It is also helping those of you who are learning what it is to heal your relationship with money and become an empowered decision maker. This is an opportunity for you to know what is yours and to move on it, to go on that feeling. So in the certification program, you will be doing levels 1, 2, and 3 with us. So you will be doing all of the inner work that I spoke about. So this is the leadership, this is the frequency, it's the nervous system reprogramming, it's the subconscious reprogramming, it's the identity piece, so that you know yourself as somebody who can have everything that you desire. You're the creator of it all, you trust yourself, you've got a balanced nervous system, and you are building your business and being of service from balance within yourself. Level 2, which is the business, this is where we go, this is where you bring your business to the table and we take it to each new level. You don't have to go off and do a course to learn about copy, to learn about creating a program, to learn about creating sales funnels, to how to market yourself. In the business part, you're bringing your business to the table, and in real time, we're talking through all of the things. And at the same time, you're learning what it is, what the ecosystem of a successful business is. You're learning to think and move as a successful business owner. Level 3, the certification. This is where you become certified as a master coach and spiritual mentor. And this is where you learn what it is to hold space at a high level and work with high ticket clients. This is where you understand, you will be learning about human behavioral patterns and the frameworks that you can guide your clients through. When a client comes to the table with a certain challenge, you will be able to read the human behavioral patterns. And from there, you will know which framework is going to serve that client, how to guide them through it, and how to guide them to take action so they learn what it is to believe in themselves and heal themselves. So, certification program is currently 7,500. If you prefer to join us for the business only, then that's 6,500 for the year. It's usually 10,000, so that's currently on offer. So if you're wanting to jump in, that will be on offer until the end of this month. At the end of this month, both memberships are going to go up in price. And this is to help you with your empowered decision making. So you're not putting off the things that you want into the future, you're choosing to move on them now. So on that note, if you're wanting more information or the links to sign up directly, send me a DM, ask me any questions that you might have, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for day 3 of Awaken Your Inner CEO.